Good morning, everybody. My name's Chuck, and I am doing this video because I am a keto fanatic. And this is my first video. Hopefully, some people will find this interesting. Maybe I can relate to other people that are just like me or nearly like me. But a little bit about myself. I am 56 years old. I'm married, but I don't have any children, unless you count the four furry, four-legged children that I have that rely on me for lovin's and, of course, food. I live in northern Maryland, not too far south from Gettysburg, Thurmont, half an hour north of Washington, D.C. I am a cook at a very large, very popular grocery store in the area, and I am overweight. At one point in my life, I know I saw on the scale 315 pounds. And I was considered morbidly obese. I've never been diagnosed with diabetes, although diabetes does run in my family. My doctor has, however, said that I am pre-diabetic. The first time I saw my doctor and complained about some of the problems I was exhibiting, he immediately ran for a test to test my A1C and thought that I was diabetic. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me at that point, I was not. But he did warn me. I've also had another procedure where I did a upper GI inspection, upper endoscopic, whatever, and they found that I have a fatty liver. So I have those things going for me. They're not good. They haven't really affected me negatively yet, but they promise to do so if I don't do anything about it. In addition to those pre-ailments, a few months ago I thought that I had arthritis. I was complaining about a lot of joint in my fingers and my wrists, also my ankles and feet. But my wife, who is actually arthritic, she has psoriatic arthritis. That's the kind that Phil Mickelson talks about in his commercials. But so I thought, because of my symptoms kind of were similar to what she was complaining about all the time, so I thought I had arthritis, and I decided to go see the arthritic doctor, or the rheumatologist, the arthritis doctor. And after an interview and a couple of tests, it was determined that I do not, in fact, have arthritis. Thank God. But that left me with why do I have all this pain in my joints then? And I know that I was working in a job that using my hands a lot, cutting stuff with the knife, as a cook, and I was on my feet 8 hours a day when I worked. So it's tough, especially when you're overweight like I am. So that doctor suggested that I have inflammation and that I should consider going about working on anti-inflammatory diet. And an anti-inflammatory diet would be something like a keto diet, Atkins, South Beach, paleo. There's a bunch of them out there. And I knew a little bit about the diet. Of course, Atkins and South Beach were popular years ago, and I was familiar with them, but I never really did pursue them then, obviously. But I had a basic idea that it was a low-carb diet. So anyways, I started doing some research, and I looked up on YouTube anti-inflammatory diets, and the first person I saw was Dr. Berg, who has, if you don't know already, thousands of videos explaining the virtues of a keto diet. And thank God for Dr. Berg. I really like his videos. You can learn a lot by watching him. There are others out there. DeLauer, Skinny, Dr. Skinner, Dr. Boz. There's a bunch of them out there that I really enjoy. And then there's other people that are not doctors, just regular people like you and me that talk about their keto journey and how it's helped them. And that's kind of what I want to do, because I know there's other people out there that face the same sort of issues that I do. And I thought that maybe I can help them, maybe determine why they should do the keto diet and explain why I'm such a fanatic about the keto diet now. As I said earlier, I am a big researcher. I've researched a lot of stuff about the keto diet when I started this, and I was amazed at the things that I was finding. Things that besides just weight loss, in fact, more than just weight loss. I think Dr. Berg says you need to get healthy to lose weight, not lose weight so that you can get healthy. And I wondered what in the hell that meant. But after watching more of his videos and learning about what the keto diet will do for you, essentially it'll get your body back on track. So I will talk about that a little bit later. But I want everyone to know that in a way I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. Years ago, 10 years ago or more, before I met my current wife, I was a smoker. I had smoked for I'll say 10 years or so, 2 packs a day, at the most, 2 packs a day. But when I decided to quit, one reason was I had recently become a widower. I'd lost my second wife to cancer, and I didn't want to be alone, so I was back on the dating scene at in my mid-40s, and realizing that a lot of the women that I was interested in trying to date didn't want a smoker. So I thought, well, it would be my best position would be to stop smoking. Also at the time I was regularly attending church, and I decided to pray, and you can believe whether that helped or not. That's up to you. I think it helped. But it turned out that once I decided that I wanted to stop smoking, it was the easiest thing I'd done. I was originally afraid. You hear all the stories, quitting smoking is like trying to drop drugs, or it's very difficult, and then you see all the drugs out there that they sell you for a smoking cessation, like Chantix and other things, patches, and you hear horror stories. If you put the patch on, you're going to get horrible nightmares or muscle pain or all that kind of stuff. So first of all, I didn't want the drugs. I had tried the patch before. It did cause muscle pain. I did have some vivid nightmares. And you know what? Anytime you're doing something like that to your body, it's causing those sort of things, screw it. You don't need that kind of shit. And there's got to be a better way. Better life through drugs. So there was that. And then I realized how much money the government is making on people that smoke. I mean, first of all, look at the taxes. They tax the hell out of cigarettes. And then that's probably just the tip of the iceberg. Consider the money that the insurance companies make and the doctors make over trying to treat ailments related to smoking. I mean, it's astronomical. And I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be one of those, one of the numbers there. And then I started making a list of the different things that I don't like about smoking. And, one, it made it difficult to breathe. 2, boy, I really didn't like it when smoke got in my eyes. How about when the little ashes fall on your finger, or if you're driving and you drop a cigarette butt in your car while you're driving and the windows are open? That'll put a wet spot in the front seat right now. Never mind how expensive they are. I think now they're like $8 a pack. Jesus, why would you do that? Especially if you're struggling for money. Why do you need to do that? So I just decided I didn't want to smoke anymore. I wasn't going to. I'm not going to buy into the whole thing about giving my money to the government just so and I wasn't going to be afraid of it. And you know what? The next day I didn't smoke. I didn't buy a cigarette, and that was it. I was working with a buddy at the time who decided to do the same thing. We quit. Never went back. It didn't take long for me to start looking at people that were smoking and thinking, geez, that's horrible. Now, if I smell smoke, ugh. So, with that kind of thought process in mind, I kind of feel the same way about the diet in America and what we've been taught to be an acceptable diet with the food pyramid and the FDA recommendations and everything. After watching the videos and reading the stories that I have, I'm convinced that we as Americans are encouraged to do what they call the SAD diet, or you get the acronym for Stupid American Diet or Sad American Diet, whatever you want, but it's absolutely, totally, 100% wrong. It's run by the doctors, the government, the sugar industry, the snack food industry. Anyone that has a stake in making money